All right, well, we will go ahead and call this meeting to order of the May 25th, 2001 school board meeting. Thank you all for being here. Getting down here close to the end of school. By my count, I think we have 12 more school days before the last day, though I know we have seniors who will be finishing before then. A lot of graduations to look forward to, which is pretty exciting. So we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you would join me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you very much. So item 2 on our agenda is the adoption of the agenda. Have board members had a chance to review the agenda? Any discussion? If not, or a motion?
I move that we adopt the agenda for May 25th, 2021.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt the agenda for May 25th. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, the agenda is adopted. So moving on to community comments. I'll go ahead and read our community comments statement. As a part of regular school board meetings, the board invites community members to make public comments in person and/or by phone as conditions allow by calling the phone number and entering the meeting ID that is posted on our website. Our public comment procedure allows each person 3 minutes to speak, and comments will be heard during the 2 community comment periods as listed on the agenda. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, the board is not allowed to discuss items that are not on the agenda. The board may direct the superintendent to follow up on certain issues that arise during public comment if appropriate. As with in-person meetings, public comments received in writing or by email will not be read aloud, but will be directed for follow-up where appropriate. Please be mindful how you present your testimony, as the board will not allow complaints against an individual staff member or student in open session unless that individual has requested an open public hearing. Please state your name before speaking. So at this moment, I'm not seeing anyone who has called in to make public comment at this time, but Bob, could you go ahead and just give us the directions? That way then we've got them all set for our next comment period as well.
All righty. For anybody who's calling in, if you press *6, you will mute or unmute your phone. And if you wish to make a comment, please press *9 to raise your hand, which brings you to the top of the participants list, and we can see that you wish to make a comment. You will be called in the order of which the hands were raised, and you will have your 3-minute period once you're called upon to make your presentation.
Excellent, thank you, Bob. So at this time, would anyone like to make a public comment? All right, there will be another opportunity later in our board meeting after the superintendent's report. So moving on to item 4 on our agenda, reports and recognition. So our first item is 4.01, which is the budget status report for April, for April with Brenda.
Good evening, President Carr and Shelton School Board. I'm going to share my screen. On the screen, we have the April budget status report for this year. What you will find is April is tax collection month for our levy collection. So we collected a little over $2 million, and I was able to put that all into investments this month. So our general fund balance is $2,901,490.91. This will assist us because in the new apportionment schedule that they created a couple of years ago, May is only a 5% apportionment month, and then June is only a 6% apportionment month, and then they make it up in July with 12.5%. So that additional will help us get through those couple of months, and then we'll get back to investing well again. So that puts us in a good position. Capital projects fund at the end of April was $218,743.56. As you know, June 1st, we will be receiving payments from the 3 non-high districts to contribute to our capital projects that we did at Shelton High School. So that will bring that balance back up to help towards the Med Academy. So we keep moving forward with all these projects. Debt service fund, the April balance was $3,306,535.27. That is building right now because we have payments on the bonds on June 1st. So we're building that up. Associated Student Body Fund is staying very steady. Not a lot of activity there. That balance is $438,862.09. And then Transportation Vehicle Fund, that is just earning interest right now. So we're at $251,017.40. Holly has the bus that she's getting some money through the grant on order. And then we also have another bus on order. So we will most likely be making payments out of that before we end the fiscal year. The Private Purpose Trust Fund, which has our 3 scholarships that I manage in there for April, is the Drake Scholarship for $208,530.52. Mike Johnson Memorial Scholarship for $5,473.17. And then the Bulk Memorial Scholarship for $25,695.09 for a total in that fund of $239,698.78. Does anyone have any questions?
I guess I have a question.
Okay.
With the Drake Scholarship right around the corner, can we find out how much interest was earned in that scholarship account over the last year?
Yes, I actually, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just was updating that this afternoon because we are making an additional payment to one of your scholarship people this month. So I will get that sent out to you tomorrow.
Awesome, thank you.
Mhm.
So based on what you were saying, as far as May and June being lower apportionment months, and we had the nice bump in our general fund amount from tax collection. So I'm guessing we'll sort of see that number go back down again for the next 2 months and then expect it to go back up in July.
Yes, typically you see a small decline, not a major one on those 2 months. A lot of times what you'll see is May and June actually stay fairly steady with each other, but from April to May, you'll see a small decline. So,
okay, perfect. Other questions for Brenda? All right, thank you very much. So moving on to item 4.02, we have an update on the student vaccination clinics with Robert Heron.
Thank you, President Carr, and members of the school board. This evening, I'd like to talk with you about our in-school vaccination clinics. We were approached about 3 to 4 weeks ago from Mason Health and Mason General Hospital, and then later from Walmart, as well as they were watching the approvals for from the FDA to expand emergency use for the Pfizer vaccine for 16 and older, and then later it was approved for 12 and older. They reached out and said, hey, we would like, as a part of our community health drive for the COVID pandemic, to be able to offer this to families that wanted to get vaccinations for their students and for their children in school. So it would be a convenient location. And so of course we thought that was a great idea to be able to do what we can to help to assist with reducing the spread of the COVID virus, especially here at Grand Mason County. And we weren't certain exactly to what extent our families were interested. So we conducted a couple of surveys. Katie Diamond and I worked together and putting together verbiage, and first asking the community or asking our families rather just what the interest and uptake rate would be if we did offer an in-district vaccination clinic first with 16-year-olds and then expanding it to 12 and older. And we had, between the two surveys, 200 families respond saying that they would be interested. So we took that information with Mason General Hospital and we coordinated setting up those clinics. So the first dose clinics for Pfizer were set up for the 18th and for the 20th. And during those clinics, we had held them at Shelton High School and Olympic Middle School. We opened them up to at-home students as well and homeschool students. So anyone who was 12 years old and older, that was a student, was welcome to register. And so through the course of all 4 clinics, the first dose, we had about 339 students in total that were vaccinated and 12 additional staff. And so that, that takes our staff rate now up to about 50%. And so that's been a steady growth through all the way through. That's based on our estimates. And so, yeah, it went very successfully. And our no-show rate was really, really low at Olympic Middle School. It was a little higher at the high school. I think some of the students may have either changed their mind or through absences or so forth, did not attend. But it was a very successful effort. And we also have a second dose clinic set up for June the 8th and the 10th. So everybody will hold their same appointment time and place as before, and there's nothing they need to do to arrive except arrive for their second dose. We'll get more information out to families and everything to remind them as those dates get closer. And then 2 weeks after that, they will be fully vaccinated, so into June. So this will help also for summer school and for the fall by having more students that are healthy and not and less at risk for COVID infection.
All right, thank you, Robert. Any questions or comments for Robert?
I particularly like the way, this was handled. You did the survey amongst the families, got a lot of input. I hope nobody felt that they were pressured one way or another to have to vaccinate or not to vaccinate. And, especially in light of some of the stories coming out about Facebook and their I don't know if they have algorithms or whatever they have to categorize things, what they call the vaccine hesitancy. And so, I just want everybody to hope that nobody in our district felt that their choice wasn't respected. And I think this went off really well. So thank you.
You bet. Yeah, we were really focusing to make sure that people knew that it was available to them, but in no means were we trying to coerce anyone into making a decision, just that they would have available information. I also do want to make another thing I neglected to mention that I do recall now is I just wanted the public to know that we did not receive any payment or any incentive or kickback financially or otherwise from anyone to hold this. This was just only done for the purposes of community health.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Robert. Appreciate that update. Appreciate all the work that you've put in around that above and beyond.
You bet. Thank you.
All right, moving on to the consent agenda, item 5. We have various minutes and personal reports and warrants on the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? If not, I would entertain a motion.
I had just had a couple of questions for Brenda about something and she answered those. Proof that you learn something new all the time. With that, I would move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, consent agenda has passed. So moving on to item 6, our discussion and action items. We have 3 items tonight. First one is 6.01, which is the proposed resolution number 21-03, which delegates authority to the WIAA for the 2021-22 school year. And this is with Trevor. Not sure I'm seeing him tonight.
Good morning, Madam President. This is Bruce.
Hi.
So Trevor's at a wrestling match right now, so he asked me to speak to the board on this, and it's fairly brief. This is just the agreement that we enter into with the WIA to oversee our athletics programs, and so it's something that has to be done yearly.
Great, thank you. Is there any questions for Bruce around this? This is something that we do every year. It's sort of just part of the usual calendar of events. All right. So I'm not hearing any questions, so I would entertain a motion.
I will move that we approve the proposed resolution number 21-03, delegating authority to the WIAA for the 21-22 school year.
Seconded.
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 21-03. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right. The resolution has passed. Thank you, Bruce. Thanks for stepping in for Trevor. I noticed there were a lot of school buses up on campus today, so it was a pretty busy place for sports after school. All right. Item 6.02 is the proposed recovery plan for the fall of 2021-22. So that's with Kelly and Mary Ann.
Hi, everyone. Mary Ann is actually frozen right now, and she was going to share the plan with you, but it is the same plan that we presented last time. And we're just here to ask that you approve it unless you have any other questions or concerns. I'm pretty sure you don't want me to read through the entire thing again. So any questions?
Yeah, Kelly, this is Carrie. I was just going
Carrie.
to say, just remind us again, this is a working document that will continue to evolve over time. Is that correct?
It is 100% correct, Carrie. So in the fall, we will be meeting back again once we have the new data that we can add to it. And then we will update all of our plans. And then we meet again in January and we'll be going over it and presenting it back to you again. And then once again at the end of the year. So it is totally a working document. It's meant to be checked in 3 times a year.
Okay.
So that's what we'll be doing, bringing it back to you each time.
Okay.
So, Kelly, when you say that it's a working document, but you're asking for approval of this one, when it's a working document, any of those boxes that you checked on that document, can they be changed, or is the changing and update only in those categories that we have already identified?
No, it'll be changed each time that we go, Sally. So in the fall, after we've done our new assessments for the fall, those categories will, I would bet, will definitely change.
Okay.
And this also gets posted on our website, correct?
It does as soon as you approve it. If you approve it, I will post it, have asked Katie to post it tomorrow morning. And then that's the last part that we have to do for compliance. And I'll send it right on off to OSPI, and hopefully they'll approve it and we'll be approved for the rest of our ESSER funds.
Has there been a consultation with the tribes on this plan?
Yes. We had, well, not a formal consultation. We had folks from both tribes at the meetings where we looked this over and made all of the adjustments to it. The formal consultations that we do on our other grants is coming up.
But this is a federal plan, right?
No,
This
it's
is
not a federal.
recovery, or it's a state, it came through the state from the feds.
This it came through the state.
And were there any changes from the first draft that we saw?
Nope, no changes.
Okay.
I'm actually kind of excited to see what the fall information brings us so that we have a more complete look and it'll feel more authentic at that time. But this was the most current data that we had, and it's what we have in place for right now. Pretty much it sets our plan into motion for summer school, which I've already shared with you. We have some really unique things going on this year to help with recovery.
And so this plan will be used during the summer to identify and to service those populations.
We already have, yeah. We're registering kids right now based on all of those things. And we'll have them registered for summer school. Well, our summer programs, not really summer school, but our summer programs. And we'll keep moving forward with that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, Sally. I also want you to know that we're working in partnership with both tribes on the summer program. So most of them will be coming to the kids at the schools, but they are also registering kids for summer school for us.
And is there anything else we need to prepare in order to use the shoreline equity tool that's mentioned in the document? Are we all up to speed with moving forward with that?
We are. It suits our purposes very well.
All right.
All right, other comments or questions for Kelly? All right. If someone would like to make a motion.
I would move that we accept the proposed recovery plan for the fall of 21-22.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the proposed recovery plan for the fall of 21-22. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right. The recovery plan has passed. Thank you, Kelly. So moving on to item 6.03, this is the proposed resolution number 2104, academic and student well-being plan. This is based on the WASDA model policy. Kelly and Marianne, though I guess mostly Kelly.
Marianne's still frozen and we can't bring it up. I'm so sorry. Marianne, are you having any luck?
Kind of came back, so yes, if we need to pull up the resolution, I'm connecting everything. We can make that happen if we need to.
I'll wait for her to, well, I won't wait. I guess I'll just go ahead and say, this is the WASDA model policy or resolution, I guess it is, that would put in motion all of the things that we just talked about. And it's asking for your support.
All right. Has everyone had a chance to read through that resolution to see the WASDA model resolution for that? It's in our board packet. I think we've also seen a link to it at some point. Any discussion or questions around that? All right. Hearing none, if someone would like to make a motion.
I'll move that we approve the proposed resolution 21-04 academic and student well-being plan.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the proposed resolution number 21-04. Any further discussion? Hearing
I
none.
just want,
Oh, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say thank you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I am having a heck of a time tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that.
No worries. Hearing no further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, so the resolution that number 21-04 has passed.
Thank you. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Clearly not my finest show, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
Will the
Thanks, Kelly.
resolution be also posted on the website?
Yes, it will. We'll
Okay,
put it up there with both of them.
thank you.
Perfect.
No, thank you.
All right, so moving right along to item number 7, which is the superintendent's report. Dr. Apostle. Oh, you're muted still.
Sorry. Thank you, Sally. Just very quickly here, we're busy with the planning for the end of the year activities, and there are many, and they're going to be kicking into gear next week. And I know they've been publicized on our website and through the schools, but there are a number of things going on next week and the following week. And of course, we're planning for the overall opening of the 21-22 school year in terms of the overall budget and staffing associated with that budget. And that's all geared to 100% in-person teaching and learning, and considering a robust online presence for those students interested or desire the online option. So those are the issues that are occupying my days and the days of our cabinet and principals as we move forward to the conclusion of the 2021 school year.
Great, thank you, Dr. Apostle.
Thank you.
So moving on to item 8, which is our second opportunity for community comments. So if anyone would like to make a community comment, I don't see that anyone has called in to do so. Now would be the opportunity to do that. I will take a pause here just in case someone is hoping to call in. All right. Well, we'll go ahead then and move on to item number 9, which is board member comments. Lynn, you are at the top of my list tonight, so you get to go first.
All right. Thank you, Sally. And I apologize for missing the last meeting, but I did have a great vacation. I'm back refreshed and looking forward to all of these kind of end of the year events, graduations, the court naming tomorrow night, and it's just going to be a busy time.
All right, thank you. Carrie.
Yes, I just want to say thank you to everybody again for all of the updates and the board reports. I do enjoy reading each one of those, and I miss seeing people face to face. So I also look forward to being there tomorrow with whoever else is there at the naming ceremony. And my husband specifically is coming with me because he just is such a big fan of Coach Greg. That he didn't want to miss this either. So we made special arrangements so both of us could be there for that. So I'm looking forward to it. And yes, as we ramp up to just all of the end of the year activities, it's definitely populating the calendar and it's getting pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to, I get to make one of my daughter's moving on ceremonies, which will be June 2nd. So that's coming up after the Memorial Day weekend. And then, of course, Cedar and Choice and the 3 Shelton High School graduations. I do plan on attending all of those as well. And I'm looking forward to that, rain or shine, just seeing those graduates, get a chance to celebrate such a milestone in their school career. So I'm really excited about that. And outside of that, I don't have much. Well, I did attend a Board of Health meeting today. Everything is blending together for me. So I also heard from them. Thank you, Robert, for your updates on the vaccinations and just all the coordination that you have done with the hospital and the health department and that you continue to do with that. the Board of Health was also kind of taking or not the Board of Health, but the health department today was letting the board know that they were kind of breathing a sigh of relief because the need for the mass vaccination clinics has gone down. And so they're all able to get back to their normal jobs to a certain extent. And some of them had taken a job and then got thrown into a pandemic, which they said that's public health and they're excited to do that. But at the same time, it's a pandemic and it's definitely taken a toll on everybody. But, definitely it is people's choice on the vaccinations. But I do want to remind people that at this point, all of the pharmacies in town are walk-in appointments only. You don't have to make an appointment to go in. And I believe they said the National Guard and the health department or Mason Health were doing a Johnson & Johnson single dose down at the Mason Transit Center on Friday between 1 and 4. So there are some groups that are still helping coordinate some of these events, but yeah, they're moving on from those, and they are getting into looking at more community and population health initiatives, which they would love to partner with the schools going forward with some of the things that they're looking into there, which I think will be great for our students and their families. So outside of that, just thank you all for everything. And I do look forward to seeing some of you face to face here pretty soon to celebrate.
Great. Thank you, Carrie. Sandy.
And I just will be brief and say that, I hope everybody takes a moment to remember our fallen members of the military this weekend and have a happy and safe Memorial Day. And I am still trying to work things into my schedule. Things have changed for me at work and I don't have the same flexibility I did. So I'll let people know as which events I can and can't make it to. So thank you.
Great. Thank you, Sandy. Sally.
Yeah, I don't have too much tonight. I was doing some work over the weekend, and so I don't know. Maybe it's just me and my primitive computer skills. But when I went on, I searched and searched on our website. I searched in upcoming events. I searched in the search bar. I went everywhere trying to find out the graduation nights, and I couldn't find it on the website. And anyway, so I was trying to get everything on my calendar. I'm still not quite, I know I wrote it down at home. I'm not at home, I'm still at work. Because I have different young people at all these different ceremonies. And are you coming? And I'm going, okay, but when is it? And I really had a hard time. I'm looking at it right now and I can't find it. And so I'm hoping that, that it's there for family and for public to know, even though, it's limited. I'm sure the students that are graduating know that date very, very well, as well as their immediate families, and those are the ones that matter the most. Also, Robert and I both attended the art committee for the high school project. So it's nice to say, okay, we're going forward, we're reactivating these things. And so we had a great discussion with our committee that really represents a lot in our community. So feeling great about that we're getting back and going forward. So other than that, yes, hoping for good weather this weekend, and Sandy's sentiments as well, taking that time to know why we do have that 3-day weekend, that there's a special reason for that.
Thanks, Sally. So Alex, I thought you had your,
Yeah, I just want to make sure that we try again to get Sally and the entire board the information regarding the end of the year activities. I know that we have sent it before, but we'll send it again, and I'll work with Katie to make sure that we try to make sure that you have it, Sally.
Yeah. Well, the upcoming events only go till June 2nd.
Okay, well,
So, and
we'll get information to you.
okay, thanks so much.
You bet.
all right. Well, thank you, Sally. So I just have a few announcements. Was able to attend the Most Inspiring Student Award last week, and that was a really nice event. Thank you, Mary Ann, for all your work on getting that organized. Usually we do it in the sub and we have a meal, and this time it was in the Performing Arts Center. So that was sort of nice because then the students got to come up on stage and sort of be in the spotlight, and that sort of lent a nice feel to it. So I really enjoyed that, and there was a lot of families and most of the students were able to attend, and as always it was very enjoyable. It's sort of the prelude as we move into the end of the year activities. So as was mentioned, tomorrow is the basketball court naming ceremony, starts at 6:35. And then Thursday, we have a study session at 4:30 on the budget. And Brenda's going to have some information to present on that as we start the preliminary plans for next school year and budget and staffing. And then Drake Scholarship is the other thing that we need to work on as a board. We have all of the applications were due by the end of the day on the 21st. We have 17 applicants. I sent you a link so that you have access to those applications. If I could get one other board member who would be willing to go through all of the applications so we could finalize a list of 3 to 5 students to interview, that would be great. Just send me an email if you would be interested or have time to do that. It takes about 45 minutes or so to read through them all. Basically, it would be comparing notes on like who your top 5 are kind of thing. And then from that, we can make some selections. I am hoping that we can do interviews next Wednesday. I would like to do that before kids graduate, because once they graduate, it tends to be much trickier to contact people. That said, I am helping out at the boys district swim meet and on Wednesday. And so I'm thinking it would probably have to be, I was hoping to do them in person, but I'm thinking it may have to be a Zoom meeting probably at 7 to do those interviews. So if you could check your calendar and let me know if that works okay for you, that would be great. And with that, that is all that I have. We do not have need of an executive session tonight. So this is going to be a super short meeting. So from what Alex is telling me, we are going to have some maybe less short meetings coming up here in June as we have some things to talk about. So yay, we can enjoy this one being a little shorter. So I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
All right, we stand adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone.